Okay. All right, so we had JH, we had JG, you said JE. Okay, we talked about JH and JG being opposite rays. What is the fourth one? Letty? JF. Okay, all right, and so those are your four rays. Okay? Understand again, J has to, when they talk about endpoint, they're talking about, that's the start of the ray. Okay? All right, next, go to the top. We're going to do a couple of these. So this is like numbers 10 and 11, where they give you a set of instructions and you have to try and draw it. Okay, so it says to start by, and look at it as in like steps. So draw 4 non-collinear points A, B, C, D. So if I did the following, am I right? If I went 1, 2, 3, 4 for A, B, C, D.
No.
What's wrong with that?
So the question is that it's non-collinear,
Okay, so what does that mean?
they should not be on a straight line.
All right, they should not form a straight line, so we don't want this. So non-collinear just simply means just form 4 any points anywhere you want. Doesn't matter where you label them, okay? I'll just go straight across A, B, C, D, okay? All right, after that, it says to use the symbols and sketch what this would look like for AB. What would that look like for BC? What would that look like for AD? See if you can do that. Did you have the following? A line between A and B, no arrows. Good? Okay, BC, you should have a line through C with an arrow at the end of it. Okay? And then AD, you should have 2 arrows like that. And some of you are doing like this, putting arrows right on A and right on D. You can extend it because it's a line. Remember, it goes in both directions infinitely. Okay? So that's it. They're just checking, do you understand what each of those symbols mean? That's all they're asking. Okay? So the next part. Okay, we did an example like this yesterday, and it applies to the concept of collinear. They're simply asking, is this on the same line as this? What do we do?
Plug it in.
Plug it in. What do we plug in the negative 10?
X.
X. So negative 10 plus 6, what do we plug in for Y?
5.
Okay? All right, and then set it equal to 40. So, do our order of operations, 6 times 5.
30.
So is negative 10 plus 30 equal to 40?
Yes.
No.
I heard a yes.
It's because I can't do math.
Oh. Well, you simply saw 10 and 30 and said 40, but it's negative 10 and 30, so the answer is no. All right. So since these two are not equal to each other, it would be no, that they're not collinear. Okay? So sometimes on quizzes and tests, I'll say explain. This is an explanation. Doing the math. You're showing why it's not. Okay? Like specifically this part. The 20 is not equal to 40. So I'm not looking for you to write a paragraph. Okay? You can explain using the numbers. Okay? All right. Before we get to the inequalities, what we're going to do is I want you to scroll down, leave some space underneath example extra 3. All right? And I'm going to go and create a box. So you have an example like this in the homework tonight, and I think we might have done a little bit of it yesterday. So I'm just going to create what looks like a fish tank, a box. So I'm going to do 2 parallelograms, okay, that are of the same, and then connect, 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 connect. And I do a very good job of connecting that one. Okay? All right, so just creating a box. All right? Then I'm going to label A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. And you don't necessarily have to draw this if you don't want to. I'm just going to ask a bunch of questions based upon this picture and just see if you can answer them, okay? And then I'm even going to add in an extra letter, J. And it's basically, do we understand? I'm going to ask about collinear and coplanar and all that stuff, and names of things, etc. Okay? All right, so the very first question. What point is coplanar with A, B, and E? What point is coplanar with A, B, and E? What do we got? She says F. What do you guys think? Yes, because they're all on the top. Okay, so F is correct. All right. Name a point that is coplanar with C, D, and J. Coplanar with C, D, and J. FYI, you got 2 possible answers here. Colin, right?
Yeah,
Right.
G,
G is one possible example. What's the other one?
H.
And H, okay? So C, D, and J are all on the bottom, but so are G and H, all right? Now I'm gonna try and trick ya. Can someone give me a point that is collinear with A, B, and H? A, B, and H. Summer.
G.
He says G. Spencer, what were we gonna say?
G.
G. Anybody else?
E.
E.
G.
G. Lots of G's out there.
Oh, wait, no, it is E.
Oh, really?
It was A, B, and H. Now, are A, B, and H both all on the top?
No.
All on the bottom?
No.
No, okay. Can they create a plane? Yes, because we just talked about how through any 3 points there exists a plane. So I'm going to draw a plane through A, B, and H. When I do that, I have A to B, A to H, and if I connect it over here and then back up, what other corner did we hit? G, which is what was said. So very good. All right, so even though it's not drawn that way with the black lines, it still exists, okay? You can make a cut going that way, all right? So to check for understanding, give me the point that is coplanar with D, E, and F. D, E, and F. What point is coplanar with D, E, and F? How about Sammy? D, E, and F. C is correct, okay? Again, we can make a plane going this way, okay, and it would hit C. Very good, all right? Next, can someone give me a name for this plane? Give me a name. What do you got?
F, E, H.
Okay, so it would be plane F, E, H. Can someone give me a different name for the same plane? Lynette?
AGF,
H, E, F, you said? Or G, F?
EF,
E, F? Okay. All right, can someone give me another one? Someone?
E, F, G.
E, F, G. Colin?
F, E, G.
F, E, G. Okay, so notice there's lots of different possibilities as long as you're using any 3 of those 4 letters. Okay, that's it. All right? Name a point that is collinear with D and H. Name a point that is collinear with D and H. We need to start hearing from other people. Yes. J. So it's on the same line, so J is collinear. Okay? All right? Give me a point that is non-collinear with D and H. Non.
B.
B. Is that the only answer?
No.
No.
A.
A.
C.
F.
C.
G.
F. G. There's tons. Okay? So just check and make sure that you understand the idea of coplanar, collinear, naming, all that. Okay? All right, so we'll go up to extra example number 3. Okay? So reminders on this. Okay? The idea here is to start by graphing our number line. Okay, so I'm going to put in a 2, I'm going to put in a 5. Always put the lower number on the left, higher number on the right. Okay? From there, I look at the inequalities. Am I going to use open or closed?
Close.
Okay, so I'm going to fill these in. And then I got to decide where I'm going to graph. So am I going to draw my arrows away from each other, towards each other? What am I going to do? Zach, what do you want to do?
You're gonna draw them toward each other.
So like 2 goes to the 5, 5 goes to the 2. So we're going to end up with something like this.
Yep.
What do you guys think?
No.
You disagree?
Yes.
All right, so let's check, okay? So according to this statement, Okay, the way that you read this, you always read it from the inside out. X is greater than or equal to 2, but less than or equal to 5. Okay, so we're going to throw in a random number here like 3. Is 3 greater than or equal to 2?
Uh-huh.
Is 3 greater than or less than or equal to 5?
Yep.
So it worked.
Oh, yeah.
So therefore, he is correct. He graphed it correctly. Okay? Now, the objective here, how does this apply to the geometry, is can someone give me a name for this shape? Is it a plane? Is it a ray? Is it a point? What is it? I heard a line. And he's adding line segment. So is it line or line segment?
Segment.
Line segment because it has endpoints. It's stopping. Okay, so technically this is a segment, not just plain old line. You got to make sure you understand the difference between the two. Okay? All right. So try example number 4 or extra example number 4 on your own. To see how we did on this. Okay, so you've got your number line, you got your 0, you got your 8. It looks like we're sticking with our closed circles here. Less than or equal to 0. Is it going to go left or right? Towards the 8 or away from it? Away. Okay, and then greater than or equal to 8. All right, away from the 0, so we got this. So the question is, what is this form? All right, so it's, to be technical, I would say 2 rays. Okay, does anybody want to call them opposite rays?
No.
Why not?
I don't know.
You're correct.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I don't know.
Does anybody know why they're not opposite rays?
There's space in between them?
There's space in between them, and what did we say that has to be true about opposite rays? They have to have the
Same vertex.
same vertex or same endpoint, okay? All right? Did you do number 5 already?
Yes.
You did?
Same thing.
And it's the same thing?
Yeah.
It's the same thing?
No.
See it.
It's not the same
What?
thing?
No.
It says and.
Oh, and I didn't read it.
Oh, well, that's,
You can look at that.
just so you know, that's an essential part, okay? All right, so looks like it's the same, but you have to understand there's a difference between and or. So if I used simply the idea of, all right, let's say I asked, Ureni, go down to the cafeteria, give me a pizza or a Coke. How many items is she gonna come back with?
1,
All right, go down to the cafeteria, give me a pizza and a Coke.
2.
Okay, so this has 1 item, this has 2. So can anybody give me a number that is less than or equal to 0 and greater than or equal to 8 at the same time? So 7 is less than or equal to 0 and greater than 8, according to Lynette over here. Is that true?
-8.
So -8 is less than or equal to 0. You agree with that? Is it also greater than or equal to positive 8?
There's no number then.
There's no number. Oh. So if there's no number, we don't have essentially anything that exists here, so it's nada, nothing. Okay? No solution, right? Okay? All right? Okay? Now, if we had had the arrows going the other way, like this going this way, this going this way, like this, then we would have said it formed a line. Okay? But that one's a little bit tricky. Okay?